Hello all. Hope you all are doing good, the Business Central folks. And we are starting a new series. And in this new series, the first video that we are going to talk about, and this series is about integration of your CRM with your Business Central online. There were a lot of requests about it, so I thought let's not wait for it and let's start a series around it. So we'll go through different setups, different videos around it, and as you know, as you have some questions, you can quickly add them into the chats so that I can or comments, and so that I can cover them in future videos. As we do at the end of this series, we'll also do a Q&A based on your comments that you have on these videos. So don't keep any questions in your head, add them into the comment section. So without wasting further time, let's get into it. So when you have to do an integration with Dynamics 365 Sales, there is a built-in wizard that's available, and let's go through that. So let me open my Business Central. Here's my Business Central. Let me zoom this in, and somewhere on my assisted setup, if I can access it from somewhere, let me see, it should be here. This should be in section 2, integrate, okay, with the setup a connection to Dynamics 365 Sales. You can go through the wizard, but as soon as you click on this, you get this error message which says you must enable the connection to Dataverse before you can set up the connection to Dynamics 365 Sales. Choose setup to Dataverse connection in assisted setup page, which is this. Now before we get into this, or before we click into this, let's understand why kind of Dataverse integration becomes important before you start. So there can be multiple sources from where you are interacting, right? Dataverse combines data into a single set of logic that makes it easier to connect Business Central to another 365 application. So anytime you are trying to connect to any 365 application, it will start from Dataverse, because Dataverse kind of be that place where everything happens. So before we look at this, let's look at the CRM one. So your CRM environment, this is my CRM environment, is when you go into about, you see that there is a organization name, which is this. And then what I'll do is I'll log in into my Dataverse account, which is your Power App portal more or less. And then in there, you can go to the administration and all and see that. So to go into admin center, you can click here and then go into your Power Platform admin center, which is eventually your list all your environments. Now in here, you will notice that I should have an environment for my CRM 416069, which is this one. So this is my connection to my CRM, my database of CRM, and this is my Dataverse default database. When you come here and you try to access tables, what you see here, there's nothing at this point because I have selected Contoso default. I can actually choose my CRM environment from here and then see a list of table, which will show me the data that I see on my CRM application as it is. So if I look at it here, I should be able to see my accounts. Your accounts are your customers and vendors. From a Business Central perspective, they are called accounts in CRM, and the same table will be here. And if you look at it, the same data will be here. What is here? Editum Corporation with 425, and when I get it here, I should see this. So this is kind of your behind the scene database. Like your Business Central database resides on a SQL server, your CRM database resides on your CDS or Dataverse. Hopefully that's clear, and that's the reason why connection to Dataverse is prerequisite before you connect to your Dynamics 365 Sales. So how you do that? Let's click on this and see. So as soon as you click on it, it says quickly set up a connection to the couple record and event synchronization, enable data synchronization. What the tooltip says, enable Business Central synchronization data with Dataverse, And then it says virtual table. We'll talk about this later, so I'll disable it. And let's move next. It says if you choose next, we'll try to find the database and Dataverse environment so that you can choose to connect from. I accept it. Let's search for it. Base application is trying to make an external connection. So let's do that. And if you notice, automatically my CRM environment kind of came here as it is. This one. Now the reason this came, and I cannot click on this drop down because I only have one environment. If you have multiple environment in your Power Platform Admin Center, right, like CRM, a CRM mock or CRM test, and a Dataverse account, then you'll be able to choose different accounts or different environments that you want. Once you have selected which environment you are trying to connect to, and maybe it's required, what I can do is I can switch this environment to my Contoso default, and I can create a database. So if this was created, and this will take its own time, I'll be able then to choose the CRM environment also, once Dataverse environment, if it gets created till that point. And we'll see that if needed. Now once you have done this, let's move. You have to sign it as admin user. So it'll pop up, it'll get me authorized. Once I do that, I'll be able to connect to that CRM environment, and that's mandatory before I move next into it. So let's see what happened. The administration is signed in. Let's click next, and now it's trying to execute some of the code which is available, or all the code which is available in Business Central for connecting to this Dataverse environment. And we'll be able to see it in our admin center here. So let's see. If I look at my environment, this is what it is connecting to. I should be able to see some things that are changing here at this moment when I'm trying to create that connection in Business Central. What happens typically is an app gets deployed here to build that integration between Business Central and CRM or Dataverse at this moment. So once it's getting things ready, once that is done, we'll be able to see it. So I'll pause the video till this happens, or oh, I'm here, so no need to pause it. So what I can see is these are my environment details and all. If I go into Dynamics 365 app, I will be able to see all the apps that are deployed on this environment related to my Dynamics 365. So let's wait for it. Okay, this page seems refreshed, and we should see something here if I'm not wrong. Let's wait for it. Not this one. Okay, we're still waiting, I guess, because things are getting ready. So once that gets updated, I'm optimistic that we'll see something here, and also in one more area, which is somewhere here. Okay, advanced settings, and then in here, if I go into my solutions, it actually deploys the solution in my Business Central, in my CRM or Dataverse account. So let's do it based on date when it was installed. So if you look at it, it just got installed, and the date seems a little bit off based on my computer, but it says that it is common data service solution, and the CDS default publisher is the app for it. Okay, so let's wait for it, and I'll pause the video so that once it is completed, I'll start it again. Okay, I thought the delay is because I was trying to create that environment, and that just got created. So now if you choose the Contoso one, you'll see the Dataverse environment that's there. It's kind of a demo database, right? And now if you come here and you try to look up on this, because now you have two environment, one for CRM and one for Contoso. As you can see here, both the environment you can see on your Dataverse user environments. So you can choose whatever you want to connect to, right? And then when you hit next, everything is configured. And now here comes the question about choosing the what do we call that, ownership model. Now this is a very important question, and I had to actually read through it, and I'll add a Microsoft article about it in the pinned comment. So there are two kind of ownership. One is of team ownership and one is a person ownership. So understand it from Business Central perspective, and let's talk about the team ownership first. In Business Central, a company is a legal or a business unit, right? That helps you to visualize the data, user work in the context of company. If you are on company A, then you can have different permission, different rights, and based on that, you will work. The closest that Dataverse comes into this concept, and I'm still talking about Dataverse, is the business unit table. So there is a table called business unit in Dataverse. So right now I'm connecting to the CRM one. Let's see the table business unit. So the business unit comes very close to what we have companies in Business Central. But because business unit does not bring the same feature as you have in Business Central, uh, you cannot force one-to-one mapping to a company and a business user, because there are not multiple companies and there are no multiple permissions assigned to the same user based on the company that they have. So to make synchronization possible, when you enable the team's ownership here, what happens is Microsoft creates a company table that is equivalent to the company table in Business Central in your Dataverse environment, and the name of the company in that table, the records, is suffixed with the BC and then the company ID, which is a unique identifier. So if there is Cronus USA and then its GUID will be the record on it. And then they create the default business unit based on that company from Business Central. And that becomes a record in your table called business unit, which right now you see as one organization only. And then based on that, the records are owned by that team, which is the business unit in this case. When you think about person ownership, which is the other option here, then your salesperson becomes the key person, because every record that's created will be assigned a unique salesperson, which will own the newly created record. The concept of business unit and team will remain as same as we discussed earlier. The default business unit, because it's just one, when mapped to the person ownership is chosen, you cannot choose another business unit. The team that is associated with the default business unit will own all the record. For the tables where there are no salesperson, like item table and other tables, right? If you couple it based on the person type, which we have selected right now, salesperson in Business Central will be created based on the users in Dataverse, and Business Central will add the users to the default team in Dataverse to kind of control the synchronization. So you can verify the users that are added by looking into the virtual table that will get created once we do that. And if they are not automatically added as the salesperson, then you can always couple them. And these might be foreign words, what I'm using right now, coupling, virtual tables and all, will understand it. But this helps you to understand who owns the record between Dataverse and Business Central. You can either choose a person where each salesperson will own a record, and a salesperson in Business Central will be a user in your CRM environment. Or you can choose teams, which will then populate and build the integration based on this table called business unit. The commonly used one is a person one, I guess, if I'm not wrong. And then once you're done with it, if you choose this option, then it'll start the synchronization, and we don't need it. We'll wait for our CRM connector to come into picture. So let's hit next. That completes the setup hopefully, and we'll be able to see a default mapping that's available. Now, as we discussed earlier, we are just doing it as a prerequisite defined by the product. So we are not wanted to do this, but it's needed whenever you are connecting to any Dynamics 365 solution, irrespective of its CRM or any other solution. You will have to first connect to your Dataverse with your Business Central. Hopefully this gets over in a while, and then we'll see a setup option where all these values will be pre-filled. If you remember, I was talking about a solution that should get deployed here. So if you look at it now, this one is not that. Let's try to change this, and here you see. So here is that solution that gets deployed in your CRM called Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central Dataverse Base Integration. Its version is 59520 20.0, and this enables the base integration between Business Central and Dataverse. So that's what was happening when we are running this record. Now, as soon as you open it, because you chose the person type, it says you need to couple your salesperson. We'll not do it right now, we'll do it later. Okay, coupling of salesperson is required. Okay, so let's click on this. It says I have only one user in CRM. I need to map it to one of the salesperson that I have in Business Central. So I say, okay, let's map it to my BC salesperson. And then let's close this. If you don't want to map it to existing one, you can create a new salesperson based on this, and a new record will be created there. Okay. Now the coupling is happening, and then if I click next, it should finish it. After you choose finish, you will follow the progress of your first synchronization, which we are not going to do at this moment. So let's click finish, and that should pop up a setup for me, which is already built in, and it shows me what kind of record which come by default from Microsoft in the integration, which is contact, table synchronization, which is bidirectional, currency, customer, payment term, salesperson, which we have done, shipment method, and these. So now let's go back and complete our actual setup which you want, which is setup for Dynamics 365 sales. Once you click next, it automatically identifies that you have connected to a CRM environment using Dataverse, so you don't have to do much. Let's click next, let's hit finish, and that should be over with your Business Central CRM connection. So once you click that, you might be asked to specify an admin user, you might be, and in Dynamics 365 sales. And at the same time, while this is running, what's happening is there is a new solution that should get deployed here, if I'm not wrong, for your CRM connection or connector. So let's wait for this, and we'll see that in a while. So I'll pause the video and I'll resume it once this is over. Okay, so that seems over, the setup. Now let's go back into our CRM, and let's try to refresh this to see what happened here. Okay, so as we did talk about the last one, if you notice now there is one more, and this is called Microsoft Dynamics. It's still called nav integration. It says Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central integration as a display name, and this solution enables Dynamics 365 users to navigate Dynamics 365 Business Central on mapped record. So our integration is over, and we have this connection setup available here, where what you can see here is the URL which you're connected to, how many scheduled synchronizations job you have, is it enabled or not, what is the SDK version, and what is the URL of the client that you are connecting to, the Business Central environment. And here it gives you detail about your CRM environment where it is connected to. Now, as you can see that there are different booleans available, so let's quickly go through what that means. So here we have the version which tells us the version of our Dynamics 365 sales setting. Hopefully that's exactly same. Let me see it here. Okay, about it's 9.23. What does it says here? 23702.186. So this is the version of your CRM that you're seeing here. This is your Dynamics 365 integrated solution imported, which we just saw on this page that it is already imported. And now there are some options. The first one is legacy sales order integration enable. Now, what does the legacy sales order integration allows you? It enables user to submit sales order and activate quotes in Dynamics 365 sales. Okay, and then view and process them in Business Central. Now I use the word legacy, so I'll have to read more about it, what it does. The next one is automatically create sales order that will get enabled once you enable this. What this will do is anytime there is an order created in CRM, which will automatically get created to a sales order in your Business Central. Then it's automatic process of sales quote. It processes the sales quotes in Business Central when a user creates and activate one in CRM. And the last one is bidirectional sales order integration, which means that synchronization of sales order will work in both direction. If a sales order is created in Business Central, that'll get synchronized in CRM and vice versa. So if you want to enable it, you can do that. What are the advanced settings? Open coupled entities in Dynamics 365 Sales Hub. This allows you to open them into a Sales Hub area. This is item availability. This gets synchronized, I guess, if I'm not wrong, after every 30 minutes. Your inventory values are synchronized to be available in CRM. What else is here? User group mapping, which is automatically enabled. And that's all on the setup page. You can test the connection to verify that everything looks good or not. Once you test it, it'll go and check that everything is correct or not. So that completes our basic CRM integration with Business Central. What we'll do in the next video, we'll try to scan what's available in these different options that are available here, and then we'll see how you build up the synchronization. And then in the following videos going forward, we'll also talk about how you map different entities between CRM and Business Central. And if you have customizations in your CRM or Business Central, how you include them into the synchronization. We'll also cover how you can virtually access the data that is available in CRM in Business Central and vice versa. So stay connected, and we'll come up sooner than later on the next video. Till then, if you do like the content, hit the like button. If you think you have friends and colleagues who will get benefit out of this series, do share this video with them. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. That helps us to understand how we are doing, and we will keep doing the work that will help you guys. So till then, have a great day, and I'll see you soon on the next video.